This is To Wit, a podcast for women in tech doing life. I'm Melinda Smith.
I'm Christy Campbell. It sounded like you just said doing knife, like that's how people pronounce knife incorrectly for a second.
Doing good life.
Good life.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Did you do anything fun?
We actually went out. We weren't gonna. We had actually no plans, and I was like, "Cool, no big deal. We'll hang out with the kiddo." But during the holiday cocktail party, our friends with kids was like, "Hey, do you want to come up? I'll make dinner. The kids can play." So we're like, "Yeah, sure." So as the week comes around, my friend was like, "Hey, actually, our daughter's going to be at her grandma's," and she's like, "Do you still want to bring Olive? She could play with Luna. Luna's like 18 months or like 2 maybe." And I was like, "Well, no, that will not be fun for her." So we had grandma watch her, and it went from doing nothing to we didn't want to deal with over expensive Ubers, and it was cold and snowy. So we got a hotel room up north by our friend's house, and we went and met his sister-in-law downtown, and then went to their house and stayed up far too late and had like a dance party. And then all of a sudden she had like a box of hats in her basement. So there's like 10 of us wearing random hats and having fun. And so it went from doing nothing to doing all the things.
I think it's funny how one thing I've noticed about not being partnered any longer, I feel like there's certain things that you tell yourself, and when there's someone else there to argue with you, then you're like, okay, no, we're going to go to the thing. But like when it's just me, I was invited somewhere, and then I was going to come home and meet a friend to just hang at my house until midnight. And I was like, maybe I won't go to that. And then as soon as that seed is planted, I didn't go. Like, no, as soon as I even introduced the thought, right? Like maybe I don't, then it's like, nope.
Yeah.
No one's here to argue with me. So I'm going to I default to hibernation.
It's all solar powered for me currently. Like if you get me out before the sun sets, I'll go out, I'll hang out. Like we were meeting with my sister-in-law. We always do Irish New Year at the Abbey. So we count down the New Year. It's our Irish friends, and Glenn owns the bar, and he puts on like the Big Ben countdown. So we count down the New Year at like 5 or 6. I want to know time zones. And it's always fun because, if you choose to stay up, great. If not, you got your midnight kiss and you're done. So we did that early enough that it was like, okay, I'm out. Now the sun is setting. Now I don't feel like I want to go back and hibernate.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, when it's already like, it's already 7.
No way. I'm not going anywhere. And they ended up playing
Flippy Cup with champagne, and beer probably with who knows what. So I probably did much better not going from a, life plan perspective. But I think I mentioned I've made new friends that are friends of friends that they do a New Year's Day brunch.
Oh, fun.
So it was great. We went, they had like a nice outdoors area. They're remodeling their house, so it's a huge hot mess, but like they made it really nice and just had great food, and everyone brought champagne, and we're just hanging out, played some heads up.
Fun. And
it was a good time.
We had the traditional spoonful of black-eyed peas. I think it's a Southern thing. I don't know, for good luck. And then we were crazy hungover because we just were, because we played and hung out too much. And I didn't know my girlfriend was making steaks, twice baked potatoes, and cream corn. And I was like, cool. So I guess I'll eat the salad I brought. I can't eat any of this, or I choose not to. I will
eat all of these black-eyed peas.
So it was definitely one of those like lay on the couch days. Here, kid, play with your iPad all day. Sorry, not sorry. It's just like the content.
Yeah, I do feel like, no, I was going to say, like, I do feel like a little bit like I haven't bounced back quite fully to myself from the New Year season. Like, maybe this is always like hibernation time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I just feel still a little bit like, I have to go to work.
Yeah. I love my job, and I still get like that sometimes. Like, oh shit, I got to be responsible. Like, oh, okay, I gotta get up and do the thing. Like, if I have a new workout program I'm starting tomorrow. Like, if I want to commit to that, then I know what that means. That means I have to do it in the morning. And sometimes on a Sunday that feels really overwhelming. Like, I want to get up when I
Yeah.
want to get up, but I'm also doing that new year thing. I don't know if it's a new year or just quarterly. Maybe I do this quarterly where I just have that argument or that inner conflict about drinking in general. Like, yes, I have fun, but
Mhm.
I don't like feeling like shit or the 2 days to recover. Or it's not even like I had 2 glasses of wine last night, watched some Surviving R. Kelly. That's it. Like probably 2 big glasses, but like I felt sluggish today and I really wanted to be like more motivated. And I was like, ugh, like I don't want to. Like last week
Hmm.
we didn't drink all week. Josh was doing this like 3-day military diet and I was just focused on work and I felt great. Like Thursday, I was like all about it. Like I felt wonderful and I don't know. It's just that constant like maybe I don't drink. Maybe I don't and I'm like, okay, well we could try that. That's fine too, but I'm not good with all or nothings either. Sometimes like that, it feels like
Mm.
a punishment or whatnot. I don't know.
Well, and it's tough sometimes. I feel like, I tell people like, "Oh, I didn't get as much done as I wanted today," or whatever, and they're like, "Sometimes you just need a day on the couch," which is very true, and I appreciate you, but I also feel like maybe I take too many of those days on the couch, like, but then I get into shitting on myself, and then that's not a good thing. So,
I know, and when I was telling my therapist about like New Year's, I was like, I don't feel like I had a ton to drink, and I was like, but it also hits me a lot harder now. And she was like, it comes with age. Like your body doesn't process it like it used to. And I was like, well, I thought the older I get, the more marinated and more like beefy my liver got responding to alcohol. And she's like, yeah, no, that's not
I
how
haven't
this
been
works.
pickling myself all these years.
No, I think my tolerance would just keep getting better and better. And she's like, no, it's actually going to go
Hmm.
down. And I was like, all right,
Cheap
well,
date.
and that's fine if I can. Yeah, right. I just need to recognize that. I just don't like it. And then I just am such a pendulum swinger. You know, I did Soul Cycle today and 75-minute hot yoga the day prior. So even if I had a few to
Yeah,
drink, I was going to, eradicate it from my body the next day, which like really, really wipes you
right.
out. So I'm like walking around like I just can't even see
Well, I
straight
think
right
it's funny
now.
too because I do feel like maybe it's being in our 30s, right? Like it's this weird time where like I would rather like have dinner with friends at
40s.
home,
Yeah.
sorry, and like have relaxy more interaction in life, which maybe involves not drinking, but like I'm still a good time. Like I remember even
Yeah.
a few years ago when we did Whole 30 and people were like, "You're not going to drink for 30 days." And I was like, "Guys, it's going
Yeah.
to be okay. I'm still fun."
Yeah. Well, and the first part of New Year's when we went to the Abbey, I was sober driver because I was like, we'll go downtown and then we'll take the car to the hotel. And from there, that's closer to the friend's house. We'll take a
Very
lift and
practical.
that'll be easier than, yeah. And there was like a weird, like I felt proud of myself somehow. Like, look at me at the bar, not drinking. I'm so, so responsible. And I was like, I wonder if I could do that all the time. I don't know. I try not to, like you said, shit on yourself. Like it is what it is, just I think it's more like, yes, I had 2 glasses of wine last night and just watched a TV show, but I didn't need to. Like, if you're gonna go out, we're having dinner and or like you're having friends over or like Friday night, Josh and I just had some wine and chit chatted. That's fun, but it's like I just had it to have it because it was a Saturday night
Mm.
and that's what we do on the weekend. So I think that that's kind of where my head's at is you don't really need to. I feel asleep on the couch. Like if you put me on the couch and give me wine, I'm gonna go to sleep. So it's almost like why? So I did like it's not like I had great conversations or was doing something fun. I watched a terrible show. Well, it's really well done, but it's a terrible topic. And then fell asleep on the
Hmm.
couch. Yeah, ooh,
I
exciting.
mean, I took down almost an entire season of Friday Night Lights. So,
Nice.
so we have some.
You know,
Oh, sorry. Do you want to continue?
so the surviving R. Kelly, it's so we've all known that he's a terrible pedophile. And now with this, you realize that he's such an abuser too.
Mm.
But I saw some of the tweets before I watched the show. It's definitely one of those moments where I was like, oh my God, I did that. Like the person that I did not lose, but gave my virginity to, he was 24 and I was 17.
Mm.
And I didn't realize it till you like do the math. I was like, oh, that's not good. And I remember my stepdad saying, what does a man want with a child? And I was saying, whatever, I love him. Something stupid, I'm sure. And then they told me I had to quit seeing him, in which I continued to over the summer. And then when I went back to school, I guess probably what my junior, senior year. But I think about that now and I was like, oh, shoot. Yeah. I mean, that age difference now, like in your 30s and 40s or whatever, isn't that big of a deal. But 17 to 24 is a big swing.
I mean, I went 18 to 30, but he was like a lifeguard. He wasn't like a lawyer. That was my argument at the time.
Well, and it wasn't like he was trying to be lecherous. We did like each other. I just see now how that is
Hmm.
kind of ooky. But ugh, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I mean, like you say, depending on what age you're at, but I also know I have a friend who met someone at 21 that, or 20 basically, that was, I don't even, can't even do the math of how older than her. And now they're still married and have kids and they're great.
My
So,
aunt was the
you
same.
know,
She met my
very
uncle when
situational.
she was very situational. Okay, I think that she was in her 20s and he's in his 50s.
Hmm.
And they were married until, he died. But it is crazy. Like as you get older, well, I mean, they're 30 years difference.
Mhm.
That's like an extenuating circumstance. Like that is not
That's a
common. But
lifetime.
yeah, it's weird for her to be like,
Single in her
in
40s.
her
Yeah.
50s and he's like, yeah, he was like in his 80s. It was so weird. But anyways, let's talk about our cool guests instead.
Well, I was just gonna say, we do have some cool guests. I think we also were talking about an idea that people can, tell me they love or hate, or neither, and we'll just do it. Um, but in terms of we've kind of talked about like things that we learned in Salesforce, and we were talking about the cruise. I was actually talking about with my mom, and I kind of was thinking about, what if we did want to, track people who were interested and didn't have someone to room with. And then it kind of evolved into like, how would I manage the cruise in an org? And I
Mhm.
was thinking, and obviously started texting you, but I think we could kind of do some solutioning around certain things, um, in terms of, which I think is a valuable part of the admin life that isn't something that you're teaching in tests in the same way that you're getting certified, right? There's a lot more,
Mhm.
it's not just about building a formula, it's about making the reasoning or being sure that the formula is the right thing to do. So,
Mhm.
so I
That's a
think,
good combo of what you do and what I do.
yeah, so I think we'll kind of pivot toward that a little bit
How
and
can
maybe
we do
do
that as far
some.
as like if we wanted to put something out there, there's a lot of limitations to like a dev org. Like, could we get a community? Could we have, do you know what I mean? Like, it would, we don't have to. Like, we could do it and it could be like
Hypothetical.
thought process and share it. But it'd be interesting if we could actually utilize it though, too.
Yeah. So we'll see how that evolves, but hopefully that's
Yeah, we
interesting.
need a new section or a
Well,
segment.
it's funny
So I can't,
because
I've,
part of this stemmed from, and I'll talk about this a little bit during the interview, but my sister was saying she had listened because she doesn't do Salesforce stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, but I don't feel like we talk about Salesforce stuff. But sometimes I can see that it's kind of inside baseball, talking about the Dreamins and,
yeah.
so I don't think we get into as much other kinds of tech topics, maybe, but I feel like maybe that could be interesting even if it's not 100% Salesforce driven, but it kind of is. So I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking maybe for the new year.
I like it. I know we talked about goals, though for some reason I can't remember at all what we talked about on the last episode. Are you doing any like what I write down? New podcast, new year, who dis? Any like purging or like I'm done with that. Like I see a lot of this, that's the energy I'm going into 2019 with, or like I am not doing any of that. And I don't know
Mm.
if I have any of those like those, the memes or the gifts with people like hitting away negativity or um I don't know.
I had a little bit of like a quasi Marie Kondo moment, which I realized
Oh
that
yeah.
going through your clothes is kind of interesting to do when you're drinking. I feel, or just I guess inebriated in some way, but like I feel like you're much more honest with yourself, which I
Mhm.
joke about, like, do these things bring me joy? But like I had to hang stuff up, and I was out of hangers, and so I was like, that's because I have too many shirts, which is probably not true. But then I was like, I don't even wear that shirt, So, to be fair, I made a pile of them that I'll go through again, not sober, which it's me, so it might just sit there for a month. But other than that, I'm doing okay with my financial goal of trying to keep up to date with YNAB and consider what my priorities are. So, yeah, I might restart a subscription meal service. I don't know if you have any opinions about which one, but
Well, I liked Hungry Root, but it's all vegan. I was thinking about that too. My sister-in-law gave us a coupon for Prefair,
haven't heard of that
which
one.
I guess is one. It might be local, so I have to try that out.
Interesting.
I
How
don't know.
about you?
I don't know. I feel like I'm so like I don't know. I don't know. Like I have things I want to accomplish. But am I getting rid of anything or like purging? I did like the New Year kind of spring cleaning. I
Hmm,
cleaned out, rearranged Olive's room. But I'm a purger anyways. You know that. I'm like I throw stuff away at
it's not nailed
all the
down.
time. I'm always throwing things away. So yeah, I don't know. That's the end of my story. Great leading question, Melinda.
I
Way
like
to
it.
open up the
Good job.
dialogue.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
So,
welcome.
speaking of dialogue, before we take too much time, we definitely spoke to our guests for a while. So, we want to make sure that
Yes.
people, I do appreciate that people do actually listen, because last episode we said, hey, who should we talk to? And we got a response that said, talk to us. And so
Yeah.
we did. So, do you want to tell our listeners who our guests are?
We have Sarah Thornton and Zarina Scott, and longtime listeners and True North Dreamin'. I'm not going to steal their thunder on that. Lots of great information there. And it's kind of fun too, because we did talk about like, hey, maybe we do an episode on all the Dreamins, which I'm, or well, not kind of like the podcast of podcasts. There's so many, but it's nice to hear from them and the new one, and I'll let them go into it more. But Sarah has been in the ecosystem for a very long time and had kind of retreated a little bit and was doing life things, and now is coming back to the community. And Zarina is one of those people that got into it, and then, like a lot of us, has been in, what she say, like 14 months, and it was like, I am all in. I am at every event. I am in all the swag, and I love it because that's how I am. Like, if I'm in, oh my god, I'm in. So yeah, let's get to them and hear what they have to say. Welcome to the show,
Hello.
Sarah and Zarina. I am so happy you guys. Well, we talked about having you guys on anyways, but then the Slack channel opened and hey, I'd like to still talk about that. And I was like, well, how about right now? I added you, Christy, for your confused
How,
face.
how many Slack channels am I in?
Well, I mean, it's a whole new one, and I know it's a
Ooh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah. Well, I had one of those weird, let's just jump right into it. I had one of those weird, like feeling creative and upbeat, and I wanted to like run errands and do all of the creative things in one day. And I don't need any food. I just need coffee and water. And I was like, ooh, we should have a Slack channel for all the dream-ins and da-da-da. And so I was like, I'm going to do that so we can collaborate and we can talk. And then I tagged, in 3 tweets, all of the events that I could find. And then Stephanie Forst was like, hey, there's a chatter group for that in the Trailblazer community. I was like, oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Because I
Yeah,
don't
but
get into it on my phone. I don't
yeah.
grab into it all the time. And if you do work like I do, I'm in a few orgs. So I just don't need another incognito window. So that's where it is.
First
So
world
we started a
problem.
whole SF events Slack channel. Send me
Yeah.
your email if you want in. And I think I added you. I don't know if you got the invite.
I've been slacking. Come
Okay, enough
on.
about us. Sarah, Zarina, look at your beautiful faces. Thank you for coming on the show so late. I know it's late. Well, actually, it's late in everyone's lane but me. So I guess this show is all about me. Weird.
Thanks for having us.
Super weird.
So, do you, Melinda, remember
Yes.
the first time that you met either Sarah or Zarina?
Yes.
I might regret asking this because I
Now,
don't know.
I remember the
So
first time
don't
I met Sarah in person because we
yeah.
became like sisters on the bus from Reno to Tahoe, and then we're just just I don't know, just kindred spirits. And I have you handed out those little cards. They were like little Zen, little beautiful sayings that I still have in one of my coat pockets, and I leave it there. So when I put it on again the next season, I'm like, oh. So that sticks out in my mind, definitely. Zarina, I don't remember the first time we met, but it definitely feels like you're in forever, and like you're just going to be in all of my memories from now on.
Well, so I'm still relatively new to all of this, but To It was like the first podcast that I got into like religiously. And I remember after Trailhead DX, I'd seen this, this chick with purple hair around. I'm like, oh, who's that? Not fully realizing at all that that's who I'd been listening to. And then it was at Daydreaming at 5280, just before Witness Success, where I was kind of like, hi, now we're friends.
Hi, are you Melinda?
Yeah, pretty much. And same thing at the next day at Witness Success with Christy in the BAM workshop.
We actually didn't meet on the bus,
Did we not?
Linda. We rode the bus back to Reno together.
Okay.
But you came through the expo hall at Tahoe Dreamin', and you were like, how you do with the dress and the hair and the scarf. And I was like, excuse me, I think I need to know you. And then we just
Yes.
and then it was like instant sisterhood. I don't know why you would deign to speak to someone like me in like, hey, I have a blazer, sort of. But you have it all like, it's not that you are, it's not superficial what you are. You radiate with authenticity, and it is badass, unique authenticity. So I was like, I need to know you. So yeah.
That was a great, like really one of my most favorite events. Like out of all the times, like there was just something about that time, that year, that vibe. It was just really good. Wasn't that the year that nope, that was the next year.
Took the picture on the carpet?
Well, no, we did that for the 2 years in a row, but there was one year that we all left like a day early because we were afraid about the snow coming in, but that was the next year. Yeah.
When I was there.
Yes.
You were having these moments with other people without me.
Well, I mean, I've had
Heart
other lovers.
grows.
I'm sorry. There is ruin.
That's true.
I used to make the joke. Oh God, how did it start with one of my besties? Like, people are like, "Oh, I'm a one man kind of girl. I'm a one woman kind of girl." And I always made the joke that, like, I think I probably wouldn't have been a good movie star because I really am everybody's girl. And I mean that in like not spread myself thin, but like, I really am. Like, I'm everybody's girl. Like, I can be with everybody. And she was like, well, that doesn't always work. Like, it can kind of work.
Is this the same woman who last week was like, cut people out? People aren't serving you? Get the funk out of here.
You're dead. Probably. She likes to swing the pendulum.
Speaking of. So, fun fact that you might not know, Melinda Murray. Sarah, before she was a Thornton, was on the Southeast Dreamin' team for the very first year, once upon a time. And now she's a Canadian and, apparently has decided what True North means. So I'm intrigued to hear what, encouraged you guys to start an event up there, and also just kind of like how this experience has changed in the past, 4 years, 5 years from the first year of us to the first year of y'all.
So when I came up here, I kind of retreated into my shell, my introverted self, and I step back a lot from the community. But like everywhere I go, I think that there should be a strong Salesforce community presence. And if there's not one, by damn, I'll make one. So I started talking about like a Ontario dreaming or an Ottawa dreaming or a Toronto dreaming if we have to. And the more people I talked to, the more people were also interested and had also dreamt about this for years and years. People who are familiar with what dreamins are. In general, Canadians are completely in the dark about what the dreaming experience, a community-driven Salesforce event is like. So I met with some people who were interested but had not yet taken action. And then I met Zarina. And it was, Jeff Lynne was like, I think you really need to meet this person. And he gave me her Twitter profile. And I was like, yes, I do. I absolutely do. And it was the same type of thing. I was like, hey, how did I introduce myself to you?
I don't even remember. I can go back and find the email, but I'm sure it was something witty. Something like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
hello, I think you might be my sister. Can we meet? Like, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to know each other for the rest of our lives. Can we get this thing started? And so, we had to wait a week for my schedule and your schedule to align, but then we did, and it was a crash, boom, bam. And then things actually started happening with I thought CA Dreamin' would be funny because the Canadian dollar is CAD. No. And then the Ottawa user group thought Dreamin' would be funny, but I thought maybe that was a little
Oh my God, hilarious.
like I don't, and we had this group,
that's
this
great.
small core group, and it was like pulling teeth to actually get votes on a poll, but we settled with True North Dreamin'. Do you guys know what the True North is all about?
I mean, it's northern of
ma'am.
me, so, and I find that also to be true. Factual.
Not
So
false.
that's all I got.
Good guess. It's actually from the Canadian national anthem, "The True North, Strong and Free." And there are a lot of businesses. If you Google like True North, there's so many like True North Roofing, True North this, True North that. But True North Dreamin', yeah, we voted. Pretty much Sarah and I voted, and
So
it
that's
was
the thing.
decided.
It's not just a one place, one region thing. Because
Exactly.
Canada is not, they've not yet been cultivated for the Dreamin' events. This is the first one. There is a Banff Dreamin' that was going to happen in 2019. It's going to happen in 2020 now. So we get to be the first. But what we're doing is we are going to move it around every year
Ooh.
because it's a nationwide Dreamin' event. And even though it's going to be in one
Yes.
centralized location each year, be it Ottawa or Vancouver, wherever, it's going to be streamed to basically local user groups who are having events on the same day. They're going to have mini Dreamin', mini True North Dreamin' satellite events. So they'll have the keynotes streamed. They'll have sessions of their own. They will the whole purpose behind the Dreamin' events in totality and specifically for Canada is to bring our community together. You guys are smiling like, oh, this is Sarah. She's on her soapbox. She's talking about the community. Oh my God.
No, what I actually was thinking was I think we might have even talked about this on Twitter, but as probably a typical American, I'm real bad at Canadian geography. So I'm kind of curious as to why you said it as though like Ontario, Ottawa, or I mean Toronto if we have to. Like that's where you're both at.
No. Actually, neither of us are in Toronto, but I will speak. I'll add something to that. I mean, Toronto is, dare I say, the most Americanized location, but it's also sorry?
And we're sorry.
Oh, and it's just
we're
kind of
sorry.
like,
Go on.
hey,
I just
you're
apologize
practically a Canadian.
like ad hoc all the time anymore.
Apologizing
for being
is what it's about to be Canadian. But it's kind of like if you're not from Toronto, everyone is kind of like, oh, you're from Toronto. Oh, okay, that's.
Well, and clearly we need someone else to do our show notes because
no, I'm in Ottawa.
They both say that you're in Toronto,
which is interesting because Ottawa is the capital of the country, and Toronto is the capital of the province. Which
I do
is the
know
state.
that.
It's true.
That I know because it's called the state province field. Okay, I can't tell you what they all are.
Fun fact, I grew up in Seattle, and when you are growing up there, you go to Canada when you're 19 because you can drink. So I spent a lot of time in BC.
It's true.
All the fun things in Canada. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Mr. Adam Daw, who helped educate me about the location of Ottawa, and also mentioned that you're around the weekend of Canada Day. Yeah, Canada Day.
So we're
It's the
It's the
weekend
weekend after, but
after.
it is the weekend of Blues Fest,
That's
which is
right.
like a huge concert. It's like a 2 week long concert,
Mm.
and it goes all throughout the city. So it's a great time to be in Ottawa. Also, we put a poll together to vote on where it should be, and I live in Ottawa, and I
You're
have
like,
and
bonus.
I have a baby. So I was like, I want to go to this. So let's do it in my backyard.
So I got 5 votes.
Would like to also attend the thing I put together. Yeah. You know, when you were doing the Dream in A, like it made me think of, so one of the names for Witness Success is fun on paper, like probably Dream in A is, but hard out of your mouth, because Dream in A is kind of hard to say, and wit treat is what I wanted, like a wit treat,
Mm.
wit treat. So on
Witch
paper,
treat.
it's super cute, but it's a
Oh,
mouthful. So I do like
Which
that True
treat?
Northwomen.
If you say it with an accent,
Kind of like
accent,
2 at
one
one
chip.
chip.
Oh my god, I wish. I'm so jealous.
Wit treat. Are you coming?
I currently can't travel outside of Canada. That's not true. I
you can
can't
come
get
be
back
my
into
roomie.
Canada if I travel outside of Canada. So I'm working on that.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes. They live in Canada, and I would like to be near them. And my husband's kind of okay.
Yeah. Well, you should just stay
Sorry.
put. You have children. Speaking of, I know that we know your lovely love story, but if you wouldn't mind sharing with everybody that you're, I don't want to give anything away. Tell them about your husband and how you got to him.
So I met Scott the day before he started working with the company I was at. And I met him at the airport, and we had known each other on Twitter, like we all do. And I met him at the airport, and I hugged him for a really long time. And y'all know that I'm a hugger. Like I'm a truly
You're a good
affectionate
hugger.
person. Thank you. But I don't know what it was. Anyway, that week he helped me with my presentation. Like he stayed up all night, helped me with a headless flow for my presentation, and it was just very fun to bounce ideas off him. And he taught me patience because he was not slow with his words, but careful with them. So I can talk over anybody, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to hear what he had to say. So I had to wait for it. And the last day of Dreamforce, we're up. It's like the middle of the night because, of course, you go to the cigar shindig, you go to have pizza, you go to where the hell am I, and then you find your hotel. And we're up sitting on the
Yeah.
porch, and I'm like, how I don't want to lose you, but you live in Canada and I live in Florida. I was like, we'll take it one day at a time. So for Christmas that year, I bought him a ring with like Doctor Who, like Gallifreyan all over it, but on the inside it said ODAT __C, which is one day at a time, but it's a custom field because it's like super nerdy. Anyway, we did make it work. 2 years, 2 Dreamforces later, our second Dreamforce anniversary. We have lots of anniversaries. He proposed to me in the alley that we first kissed in, and then the election happened, and I moved to Canada. And we got married the next summer. And 2 days before the wedding, we found out we were pregnant. So I was not a drunk bride, and we have a glorious 11th-month-old daughter named Leia. And she is just, it has been amazing to grow with him. But also, I'll show you ladies, the listeners can't hear it. Salesforce Blue Diamonds, baby. Like all in, all
That's
in.
amazing.
So that's my Salesforce love story. When I put down my goals when I entered this field, and I do it every year, and they're always right there. Like I'm looking at my 5 goals for this year right now. And that year my goal was to find a partner. And it wasn't that I was going to hunt for a partner. It was that I was ready for one. And then I found him. Yeah.
Yes.
Make it
Put
real.
that out there. I love it. It's so amazing. And I love the pictures, and it's awesome. And your little nugget, she's so sweet.
And I'm like looking to see if he's coming downstairs. The hottest thing ever is happening because like so hot. I can't even tell you. He is
Oh, she stops the calls to talk about it. It's so funny.
he is all in with True North Dreamin'. He's working sponsorships. He's doing cold calls. He's working documents. He's doing like social. And I'm like, I can't stand this. I think you're making me ovulate just by being part of the community. So we have a unique love for sure. And oh God, he's going to listen to us because he listens to it. So I'm like, sorry.
I get a text from her that was like, so my husband said that you tweeted out about a Slack channel. So if you can go ahead and add me and my partner, and gave me Zarina's. But Zarina had already messaged me and was like, great idea. Here's my address. And I was like, you literally read my mind. Yeah.
I get that.
So Zarina,
Yes.
I know I was looking at kind of our history on Twitter and LinkedIn. And if I read correctly, you have been in the ecosystem year and a half, 2 years?
It's about like 14 months now. So just over a year. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm a newbie.
And how did that come about? Like, clearly you're all in. We love you. Oh my God, yes. But like the swag collection that people can't see behind you is real.
It's not all Salesforce swag. I'm a very swaggy kind of. Ooh, Wonder Woman. Ooh, Batgirl. Ooh, I need that. Well, now there's a Supergirl one too, so I should obviously get
And
all three of
Captain
them.
Marvel's coming soon, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So excited. So I mean, the typical story of accidental-ish admin, but I was already IT coordinator, and then started learning about it and started getting on the Twitters and kind of tried to manage to convince the boss to send me to Trailhead DX. So I'd kind of been like lurking a bit, trying to get involved, dipping my toe in the water, but it wasn't until just before Trailhead DX where it kind of really started to happen. And then I'm one of those people, like, as you said, all in. If I like something and I'm passionate about it, I want to tell as many people as I can, and I want to be able to help as many people as I can to be able to have the same experiences as me. So I went knowing nothing and no one, and I met Misty and Monica, Ecomo Mai, all of that fun stuff. I saw Bhavana and Allison do a fireside chat about WIT groups, and I was like, cool, I'm going to be a group leader. I've never even been to a meeting yet because I don't think we have a group in Toronto, but I'm going to be a leader and we're going to have a group. And then it's kind of just been snowballing since then.
And yet spoke at Dreamforce. So tell me about that.
Yes. So, yes. So as I said, I'm kind of go all in. But it was the night before boot camp that I met at the Ecomo Mai dinner, Michelle Hansen. This was both of our first Salesforce event ever. And we kind of really hit it off and kept in touch. And then I really wanted to go to Dreamforce, but I'm like, well, I don't know how, $2,200 US is like 3,000 Canadian dollars. So there's no way my work's going to pay for me to go. And the night before Toronto World Tour, I had dinner with Mike Gerholt and Rebecca Sarr. I have something to add with that too. And I was like, how do I get to Dreamforce? And they're like, well, if you're a speaker, you get to go for free. I'm like, but what do I have to say? And he's like, you're very enthusiastic. I would love, if I had all admins like you, like, things would be great. And we kind of spitballed some ideas, and then I told Michelle what I was thinking about, and she was like, oh man, that sounds amazing. Can I do that with you? And then we workshopped it and submitted it, and it was selected. But a funny story about that evening, I had my little Salesforce.
I was going to say, no, hold on. Like, you realize that's rare, or like okay.
Yes,
you appreciate it.
I made a little Harry Potter meme. Well, yeah, I was so surprised, and I had the little the Harry Potter meme. I'm not sure if you're watched any of the movies or read the books.
I'm not.
But in the first one,
yes,
Harry makes the house team, and Ron's like, first years never make the house team, and that's really how it felt. Because yes, I got that reaction to everyone that I told. They're like, wait, also you've been to you've been to a few Dreamforces. I'm like, no, I haven't. I'm speaking in a 40-minute breakout session, and I think I'm going to die.
Wait, her notebook She's got to tell you the Notebook story.
Oh yeah. It's got a big 2-wit sticker on it for starters.
Nice.
Hey, I mean, you haven't seen big until you've seen the accidental stickers I printed first, but they were this big. They were like bumper.
Do you have any
Yes,
extra?
you heard.
They were
I
bumper
would put that on my
stickers. Oh my
car.
god.
Because I regularly get mail from Zarina that's just stickers and a love note.
What?
It's like,
Oh,
I'm grateful for you, love Z, and it's just full of stickers.
I love you
swear
both
to God,
so
I love this woman.
much.
So go, your notebook.
So yes, my notebook. So I brought it with me to so that was the thing. I was brand new user group leader. I'm like, hey, who wants to come have dinner with Mike and Rebecca from Salesforce? User group meeting, great. Did anyone else show up? No. So it's just me and Mike and Rebecca, which was, I didn't quite appreciate at the time what I had just done. But I have my little, did Trailhead DX bootcamp and everything all fired up and wrote my little goals in here. And he's like, oh, what have you got in there? I'm like, oh, well, I've got, get my platform app builder certification. And then one of the things, do the Rad Women Code session. And then I have on here 2-wit podcast guest. And he's like, oh, do you have the admins podcast guest? I'm like, yes. Yeah, I'm not writing that in now. No, I definitely had that on here. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. And then he tweeted to Jillian saying, oh, when was the last time we had a guest from Canada? Ha 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 ha. But alas, I have not been invited onto that podcast yet. So there we go. That is above the admin podcast. But the funny thing that's between guest on the 2-wit podcast and guest on the admin podcast is Ontario Dreamin'. And this was before I knew any of this stuff, right? So yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Aww.
There's a lot of power to putting down your intentions.
I agree.
And reminding yourself of them.
I 100% agree. I used to have Post-its up, like big goals, like the big audacious goals, and then like little mini goals. And yeah, I don't think I've done that in a while. I think I might have to yes, I know them, but like write them down, put them on a Post-it. I have an office now, like do the thing.
I'm also a huge fan of the Post-its. I have this box I'm going to show you guys, and it's just full of Post-its, but it has one on the top from Code Fryer way long ago. This too shall pass.
I have Post-its from, I believe I still have the Post-it when Josh asked me to move in with him. He cleared out a drawer. No, but he cleared out a drawer for me to actually, no, I think this was staying the night or something like that. Because I think he just cleared out a drawer where I could keep some things so I could stay the night. And he put a little Post-it in there, and a little card. I have little Post-its in my, laptops. It's like, I heart you.
So I am. So I guess I'm curious as what about the community makes you jump in with both feet in a way that seems authentic to you, but what about it is yes, this is where I want to be?
That's a great question. Yeah, there's a reason you guys are my favorite podcast. Well, I found what I've been able to do from my company, what I've been able to build for them, and the reactions I get when I show people, my boss and the users, they're like, what? Really? You can do that? And I'm like, yes, look. But then also a really big part of it is the people. The people that I met on my first day, Monica, Misty, Michelle, and so many other people, the Ohana is amazing. I know you all know this, but it's the two of those things put together. I've never felt like I've had direction in my career for quite a while. And now I feel like I have actually something I'm passionate about. I was working before that as an executive assistant and an admin assistant because I was, to backtrack even further, I decided I was moving to Canada 7 years ago for a year, and well, I'm still here. And it's one of those things where you kind of end up in a job just because you need a job, and then boom, 6 years have gone, and oh my God, I studied music business and public relations, and I'm working for a private equity firm. Okay, then. But now I actually feel like I have a place to grow my skills and something I really enjoy doing, and then I can help people in the process. So it's kind of like the secret sauce of all those things put together. It's just really
It's
awesome.
true. It's a
I
unique
love it.
brand.
I love it.
We've said it before that, I mean, if it exists, I don't really know, but it's not like people go to like the yearly Excel spreadsheet conference. And Microsoft does do something. It's just whatever they put together, whatever Benioff and team put together, it's a unique brand to bring us together and organically. There's not one person from Salesforce that's leading this or whatever. And yes, we are brand ambassadors, and financially that probably works for them too, but I don't believe that was the motivation, and it has done nothing but help and support everybody. But it's unique.
I think part of the reason I asked the question is because my dad made a comment that it's a Salesforce podcast, right? Or I think my sister said she hadn't listened, and I was thinking about like I see it as talking to my friends. I mean, I guess yes, there's a certain amount of inside baseball, right, in terms of what dream-ins are and certain things, but I don't know. I think we're fun to listen to anyway, but also that there's things that translate hopefully to other non-Salesforce people that happen to stumble
for
upon
sure.
us maybe in
Yeah.
that, just in ways of even just about how y'all are talking to each other and how we're like just I ran into you and I
Let's
found
be friends
someone
forever.
who I was like, hi, we were meant to meet, so let's do that. And yeah, not in a creepy way.
Well, it's like with
Or in a very
Steve
creepy
Moe
way.
put it best when he explained the quality of Erica Cool. Have you guys heard this story about Steve Moe? It was at her 13th anniversary working for Salesforce, and he got up and he said, Easter morning when I was growing up, I wasn't really sure if I was going to bite into that Easter bunny and it was going to be a solid chocolate bunny or a hollow chocolate bunny. And I didn't know until I took the bite. He says, Erica, you are a solid chocolate bunny.
That's awesome.
And that's the kind of,
Aww.
overall, that's the kind of people you
Aw.
find in this ecosystem being successful. Now, anybody can make money, anybody can do the work, but the people who excel in the community and who become those brand ambassadors and who live and breathe the platform, those are the solid chocolate bunnies, the genuine people. And that Salesforce has nothing to do with besides cultivating that type of person.
Yeah.
So it's not, you're right, it's nothing Uncle Mark is doing.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's what we do and what we believe in. Zarina, I don't know if you know this, but the first user group I ever went to, I was a leader as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, which user group? I was equidistant between the San Francisco user group. That sounded like it was going to be a lot of people, and I knew nothing. And the Sacramento user group. And I was like, I'll join the Sacramento. There'll be fewer people there. I can be a fly on the wall and learn Salesforce. And so back then, the Trailblazer community was a message board. So you had to like scroll back and see when somebody had posted from this location. So I found the user group leader, Pete Fife, and I said, hey, I want to learn Salesforce. How can I help? He's like, you can be my co-leader. Plan the next meeting. And I was like, no, sorry. What I meant to say was, I'm brand new.
I'm sorry, I wasn't
just
clear.
logged into a
Try that
dev
again.
org and I want to learn. How can I help? He's like, yeah, you can be a leader. It's like, okay. And it's
On
those
my
type
way,
of
I
people in our
guess.
ecosystem, and I am proud to say the people on this podcast as well who see somebody who have an interest, who have a passion for the product, and maybe they don't have teachable skill, like they don't have Salesforce knowledge, they don't have platform knowledge. Those are teachable skills. Enthusiasm is not. Passion is not. That is something innate in you. So we see those people and we're like, let me give you the keys to the kingdom and a safety net, and let's see where you can go. Let me help you with those.
We are a bunch of helpers too. I feel like we are always like, ooh, what can I do? I thought about putting out something in my like overly creative, overly caffeinated mode yesterday that I was like, I should just put out there on my like Twitter profile, like, what can I do to help you? Do you want to know about podcasting? Do you want to know about events? Do you want to know user groups? And I joined I didn't even tell, where's my husband? I didn't even tell him I joined something else. And I was like, I'm like, what can I do? I'm going to join things.
So I told Scott that I was doing this tonight, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're a rock star." I'm like, no, I'm having drinks with friends.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
But you're also famous.
No.
Just accept it. Okay, so how, for both of you not being originally Canadian, how you like it up there?
I love it. I mean, let me be very clear. It's cold as fuck.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and this Aussie over here, like, it's real cold for you, huh?
Well, it's funny. Like, I had always been a traveler growing up, and I'd always wanted to live overseas, and then it was finally like, I'm ready. And then I told everyone I was moving to Canada, and they're like, you know it's cold there, right? I'm like, oh, really?
Toronto is mild as it is.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, well, anywhere that I'm going to move that speaks English probably is going to be cold. And my first winter in Toronto was pretty mild. Like, I was like, everyone told me.
My morning.
Well,
minus 25
yeah,
Celsius,
but it snowed like twice, not even, and it didn't really even get all that cold. Like, it didn't get down to minus 20 or anything. But I was going like, I don't see the big deal. Yes, Celsius, thank you. And yes, yes. So my first winter was very mild. My last winter, on Christmas Day, it was minus 30 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective, normally the average temperature for that time of year is 0 degrees. So that's literally 30 degrees below average. And if that was my first winter, there's no way I would have stayed. Not a chance in hell. It was awful.
I don't know if it's being born in Arizona or growing up in California, but like my understanding of temperature as it relates to how I will feel is like just like broken. Like when I lived in Boston, my good friend made me a note. Like if it's this many degrees, wear a hat. If it's this many degrees, wear also a scarf. So I'm still getting used to that. So like negatives are not on my. I'm much more of a flip-flop girl.
Well, yeah, I'm from Florida, so like I had to buy my first coat when I came to Canada for the first time. I ordered it off of Amazon. I had no idea what to look for in a coat. I didn't know what anything meant, what the fillers were, what the fur was for. I'm a big girl. There's no chance I'm getting a cute coat from Amazon. So I just went with it. Still have that coat. Actually, my water broke in that coat. I got out of the car and I was like, yep, that happened.
This is happening.
But to just so that you know, minus 40 Fahrenheit is the same as minus 40 Celsius. Yeah. But aside from the cold, like Canada is amazing. It's an amazing place, and you have two immigrants.
Aside from the
the cold is part of it. The cold makes spring and summer.
Yes,
well, spring doesn't really exist, but it makes it so much more beautiful. It really does. That perspective. And this is my first time ever knowing seasons. In Florida, you don't have seasons. You have summer, and then you have the time where you have to wear a flannel.
Right. Definitely.
Or like when you have to wear closed-toed shoes, like you can't wear flip-flops that day.
Yeah. They I say that about Denver, which is not fair. It's not really a fair comparison. But I'm not really a cold person. Like today I was making the joke because I had on a proper coat only because my mom had bought one because she lives in Arizona, but it comes to visit and leaves it here. And then I had boots. And I was like, wow, if you have proper attire, it's actually kind of nice. But usually I like deal, and I say that with air quotes, the cold because I know the other seasons are coming and it makes me love them so much more. But yeah, I mean, every year I'm like, I'm going to do an activity. I'm going to ski again, or I'm going to snowshoe, or I don't know, build a fucking snowman. And then winter comes around and I was like, I want to do any of that. Like I will go out in it a little bit. My thing that I used to love about the snow back in the day is when Josh and I were first married or dating, that would be all snowed in and we would just trudge to like a bar and hang out with our friends or hang out with like the neighborhood pals and have a drink. But now it's different with like real life. You can't just be like, hey, it's Tuesday and snowing, drop all your responsibilities and walk to the bar. That's not how it works anymore. But I mean, I'll figure it out, right? I just don't love the snow.
It's what kids do to you.
Well, the kids are wonderful for the
Right.
snow.
Well, and and in age though, like you older and I'm like, look, I'm not going to go ski because I haven't done it in so many years that I'm kind of a fraidy cat now. And I don't want to break something. I got shit to do. Like I don't.
That's why you go tobogganing. It's just as much
It's like
snow and it's
luge
right down
off the
street
side
from
of a
your
mountain.
house.
Like a
No,
hill.
tobogganing. It's a sled on
You're
a hill.
thinking of
running.
the Jamaican
I'm sorry.
bobsled team.
Any kind of fast motion off a hill is a luge. Like sounds like a neck break for me.
You're talking to a Deutsch. Like I trip on my own
Deutsch.
socks. Did you just Deutsch it up? Is what I hear all the time. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I ran into the wall with my finger dented in half. Like, how do you do that? That's you Deutsch it up. That's just what happens.
I got to tell you, I'm going to use that phrase because I was very surprised and mildly impressed at myself the other day that I managed to bite the underside of my tongue real bad.
That
I don't
you
even know what I
know,
was doing. Thank you.
like I am in awe of
Deutshed
that.
it
You Deutscht it up. Welcome to the club.
I just tried to do that. So like I literally just went like, how?
I do not know.
Hmm.
I don't know. The tongue, the thing, it's a mess. All right, so back on track. Let's go look over.
Sorry, I wanted to talk about how Zarina and I are immigrants and
Yes,
Canadians, and how that is very much a part of the Canadian identity.
please.
Interesting.
So, Canada and the United States and Australia for a lot of ways are very similar and yet so different.
Oh yeah.
So different. Like it's not just that Canadians are quote unquote more polite because assholes come in all flavors, but no, that is not what I meant. Anyway, can you just edit that out, please? Oh my god.
Sure, it's not.
I mean, they do.
That's okay. So
That's
bringing
what.
it back.
How did I not catch on to that originally? How am I the last person to? I was like, oh yeah, the assholes do live everywhere.
Anyway.
You're right.
There's a lot about Canada that is uniquely Canadian, and it's not just the flannel or the buffalo plaid or the love for hockey, go Leafs go, but that was a hockey reference, by the way, because I really like hockey. Yeah, okay, great. I had to make sure that you guys got that. But you see, no, Leafs, Leafs, Toronto
Very
Maple
good.
Leafs.
Very good.
I got it.
That's an F. They're not leaves.
Leafs. Leafs. Leafs.
No, Leafs.
Actually, I looked this up because when I first moved to Toronto, I was like, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Shouldn't it be Leaves? No, it's because it's named after a army, like a corps, army corps. They were called the Maple Leafs, and because it's a proper noun,
yeah.
proper noun. Yeah, it's Leafs. Fun fact.
Look at that, a nice English
Yeah,
lesson from a friendly
there you
Canadian.
go.
You'll be able to find a lot of Canadian facts on what's the hashtag?
Hashtag TND facts.
Ooh.
TND facts.
Dropping the knowledge. I've got before we continue with Sarah's story, I have another one for you. Canada has 5 time zones.
Is it Prince Edward Island that's screwing it up for everyone?
No, it's Newfoundland and Labrador.
Oh.
They are from the West Coast. They are 4.5 hours ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If you look at Newfoundland and Labrador and Ottawa or Toronto and the West Coast of Canada, they're like equidistant. Don't quote me on that. It's very far away.
It's far.
Yeah. Huh. Much closer to England
Canada's
than it is
huge.
to the West Coast.
Interesting. Really?
TND facts. TND facts.
Now we've literally stopped talking because we're both looking at, or I've Googled it and I'm looking at images on Google Images.
Oh, images. So we're running this campaign right now. We're trying to get
Oh, look at that. See, it's Kismet. Go ahead.
We're trying to get people to submit photos, the True North Dream and Photo Contest. And those photos will be used for our event. And it's to showcase, it doesn't have to be a Canadian photographer, but it does need to be a Canadian location because we want to really highlight the beauty of the country and the beauty of the people in it. So we're crowdsourcing for photos. So you can go to our website, truenorthdreamin.com, and look for the photo contest.
Yes.
I like it. Any other any other shout outs to what? Who else is on the team? And your favorite, I don't know, any other things?
Sure. So we have a great team. We have Zarina being amazing as she is and being like, oh yeah, did you remember to do this? And I'm like, and we have Zoe Jong working sponsorships, and we have Nick Panter working our website and hating technology, and Adam Daw is working with volunteers. Scott Thornton is doing a lot of work behind the scenes with sponsorship.
Yeah, he is.
I'm blushing.
Oh, it's so funny. Every time we have a team call, like she has to stop the call and be like, "Oh my god, you're so handsome," and we're all like, get a room, you two. It's so funny.
I have to turn off the camera because I see his face, and he's at work. I can't just kiss him, so I have to not look at the screen.
My God, it makes me smile. Like my ears hurt from smiling right now. That's the best ever. All right, when is the dates? I don't know if everyone knows.
So next summer, July 11th and 12th, or 12th.
Perfect.
12th,
depending on how you like your V's or F's. 12th.
Leaves, yes.
Leaves.
Your leaves or your
12th.
leaves. So I'm intrigued because there's no doubt in my mind that Sarah has a whopper of a Salesforce screw-up story from her years of life, I'm pretty sure. But I'm intrigued if Zaz has one from not as many years and or over a decade of
I for sure
Salesforce.
do. I mean, it's a pretty rookie era. Super, super rookie, hadn't really gotten very far with many trailhead badges, had a solid 15 minutes of training from our implementation partner. Here are the keys, off you go. I'm like, oh.
Bye.
I mean, we only had, at that stage, really 2 or 3 active users. But I'm playing around with stuff. Okay. I'm like, oh, there doesn't seem to be anything in this field. Maybe I should just remove it.
Delete.
And then... Oh, no, I didn't delete it. I just removed it, took it off the page layout because I'm like, oh, I don't think it's being used. It's fine. And then I get a call from the nice, he's the nicest guy in the office. He could be like, hey, so I think you killed someone, but it'd be not a big deal. And he was like, there's a field missing, and I actually had a lot of reports that were pulling from that field. Did you happen, I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess maybe I thought there was nothing in that field, and I didn't think it was needed, so I took it off. Oh, well. But again, it was just as easily undone as it was done, but that is maybe one of the things that I want to help if I move into a consultant role is admins. I'm sure everyone wants to help them, but you can't give someone the keys to the castle if they've had 15 minutes of training and not explaining any of that stuff. So that's where I was. So that's, but
hey,
yeah.
Yes, I think you left a dead body in my office. It's
yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Wetback I can borrow.
Cool. But maybe you could help me move it. Yeah.
Pretty much that's how that went, and that was it. Yeah. Yeah. So dare I say my biggest Salesforce screw up is yet to come, but that's where I'm at for now.
Oh, we have.
I mean, that's a good one. I think that's a very relatable one. It also is a nice contained impact. So yeah, I like that. How about you, Sarah? Is my assumption correct that you screwed up along the way somehow?
Of course. I screwed up recently. It was a couple years ago. And it was my biggest Salesforce screw up, hands down. So I
like how you recently, as a couple of years ago, in Salesforce time, 2 years ago was
well, I mean,
yesterday. No, truly, I'm on board.
so I
I'm
work
here for it.
at a global organization with users around the, you guessed it, globe. And there were some changes to state and country pick lists they wanted to make. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I tested this out in the sandbox like a decent person. No problem, lickety split, easy peasy. What's all the fuss about?
Mm-hmm.
So then, about 4 o'clock on a Friday, I do it in production. I turn off state and country pick lists. I make my changes. I turn it back on, and I turn it back on for the next 6 hours. Because state and country pick lists, and I'm not sure how they are now. It's like I don't want to go there because that is where I left the dead body, and if it's done decomposing, fine. But I don't think so. So I'm never going back there again. But you had to assign countries to states, all of them, and the UI was not favorable. So 6 hours, 6 hours. And there I am in my global organization. And my boss is gone, hey, Sarah, that state and country pick list thing that you did? Yep, working on it. Cool, cool, cool. It's all good, man. Cool. I'm just going to need another 2 days. We're good. So that was my
Cool.
big screw up. And it teaches me, because there's always something to learn. It teaches me that you're just never too cool to fuck it up. Just, but you gotta own it, right?
That was one of
Like
the sexiest features. I remember when it was like, I think we like had a standing ovation at my user group meeting when we talked about state and country pick lists.
I get it. I get the usage, but I do not know
But
where
it's a
all of these
beast.
places are, and I had to Google each city for its country.
Oh yeah, I feel you. I literally just told you I don't know anything about Canadian geography, so imagine how I do with the rest of the globe. Okay, I feel you.
Like I can't even. So that was my biggest Salesforce screw up. It was not my only, by far. By far.
I know it's not the part of the show where I give a screw up, but I feel like I should confess something.
We're listening.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, 2
I'm
nights
coming
ago,
real close.
I'm leaning.
We're leaning in.
I'm laying in bed, and I have this as I'm drifting off. Dreamin' events, Midwestern dreamin' events. I wonder where you get the name Dreamin'. What events am I going to go to this year? Southeast Dreamin', TDX, Dreamforce, Dreamforce, Dream. Holy shit! The Dreamins came from Dreamforce, and then I fell asleep. And once I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh, why? Why did I just didn't? I didn't put it to. I put no thought to it at all until I was just drifting off, and I was like, I wonder why they call it Dreamins. Hope I make it to Dreamforce.
So the first Dreamin' event was not actually called Dreamin'. It was called Dreamforce to You.
What?
Oh yeah,
Dreamin'.
And it was in Orlando, Florida.
Makes sense.
And
who did that again?
Jackie and Josh
With,
and Jen Phillips.
With Jackie and Josh.
And she's the woman who got me into Salesforce. She's my hero.
Man.
That's a throwback and a half.
Talk about a power team. Damn.
The whole kit and caboodle. I don't know what. Well, ladies, this has been lovely. We can do it again and not record it sometime if you just want to.
We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh! So we didn't talk about our keynotes. We have 3 for sure keynotes.
You have
happening.
Secured already? WTF?
Okay.
They're good too.
So
yeah.
The Chris Duarte is coming to Ottawa with her family.
What?
The Leah McGowan Hare is coming.
Giddy
Seriously. And the Mr. Peter Coffee is coming as well. No joke. And we're not done. Obviously, there's more to come.
That's a
We're
powerhouse
going to
crew.
hopefully involve some government officials from Canada, which may not sound exciting to other people, but I'm I'm in the public sector, so to hear from somebody, in our government is really exciting, especially because I don't know if you guys know this, Salesforce has just recently been approved by the federal government as a platform. So just last year, a lot of federal agencies got on the platform. So it's like fresh and new.
Ooh, that's very, very, very awesome.
It really is.
This is going to be amazing. And then you, like you said, you named it True North, so you can move it around.
Yeah.
It's not Dreamin' A. True North. And I love it.
But it's going to be very themed.
I mean, you could still put it on some swag. A. I need something with an A.
Oh, it'll be.
And unfortunately, I cannot make it. I will be in Hawaii prior.
Oh,
Yeah.
first world
Well, it's a
problems.
big old family trip.
Love
Yeah.
you. Sorry, that sounded real
Well,
judgy.
we planned a trip with a bunch of people, and I was like, "Hey, can we move it? Can we slide it back a week? I have an event I want to go to, and the one I'm putting on." The rest of the family was like, "But we already booked everything." And I was like, "Cool."
Toy.
Just fine. Noise.
Toy. Nice.
Thanks for coming on the show, guys. I know it's super late. I appreciate you, and I love your faces, and everything's amazing.
It is delightful to see and talk to you guys. It's like it's soul invigorating. Seriously.
No doubt.
I love a good accent.
I know, it was so fun. I love it too because now that we're paying for Zencaster, we can have more streams. So it was fun to have like us little 4 blocks, very like Brady on the Zoom.
I like it. Yeah, it was great to hear, just like you said, Sarah's been in the ecosystem for a long time, but just the kind of small world after all interactions that we've had in different ways. And between the 4 of us, trying to remember how we've met and
or confidently saying it incorrectly.
And
there was a bus at one point in time. We rode the bus down together, but it's not where we met on the way up. Either way.
I had a moment on the Tahoe bus too, but R.I.P. Tahoe Dreamin'. So yeah, that was great. I'm excited for a new event. I'm actually really excited. Kind of what they talked about in terms of having it be countrywide, right? And that basically almost like how Dreamforce, they have like the event in a box kind of concept, right? That the other user groups are kind of coordinating around it to use the keynotes and then have like local events, which I think is really interesting. So, kind of a different spin. And then of course they'll be able to move locations if it makes sense. That's kind of how we started with Southeast. We've ended up staying in Atlanta. And then now there's one in Florida. So I think we'll kind of end up staying there. But yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, and Witness gets to move like that. So it's it makes it a little more difficult for planning.
Yeah, it is.
You're going somewhere new.
We're actually, we're in the same space this year for the first time for Southeast. So we've moved hotels every year until this year. And so it is interesting that it's like, we know the space, we know the seating arrangements that work. Like we know just where,
all that stuff.
Just better prepared.
Easy peasy. Can we just do a redo? Where's the old contract? Pull that out. Let's review it.
So awesome. So I'm excited for a new event. I'm excited that people want to come on the podcast with us and are nerding out with us and representing our stickers. So thank you for supporting our weirdness. And yeah.
Oh, hey, and if anybody listens that doesn't Twitter or pay attention, I did start a whole Slack for events, Dreamin' events. I said it before too. Sarah was like,
planners of Dreamin' events.
Yeah, and I said it. I know I said it during the interview. Just kind of want to reiterate that it's out there. Let me know. DM me. I can put you in if you're interested in starting one, or you already part of one, or you want to pick some people's brain. The events on Chatter is really great resource. But I would utilize like a little bit more for like a quick question, or I don't know. I was really just trying to put it out there as far as giving,
You just needed another Slack channel is what you needed.
Please, right? I thought about that. I was like, oh, God, it's another avenue. But I hope it can help. And I did suggest maybe doing a monthly call like they do with the MVP or even the community leader office hours. There's just getting to be so many, and there's no point in someone starting at the beginning. There's no point in someone figuring out their V2 mom alone or what app to use. I mean, that's silly. We've all done a variation of it. Like, go take from us. So anyways, DM me if you want to be in it.
In the meantime,
Wait,
what?
were you trying to close us out?
I was going to talk about super
Oh, I was
faves.
going to say, in the meantime, stay witty. I was like, wait,
Oh. Wait, I have something to say.
wait, we have super faves. Don't mess. That's it. We'll get kicked out of the podcasting space if you don't do the same thing over and over again.
I know. So Melinda,
Yes.
have you ever been in a book club?
Yes.
What's the most annoying thing about a book club?
Reading the book.
Before that,
The people.
I really should have fed you this answer, so this seemed much more practical.
That's why I
So
laughed, because I was in the book club. I went to like one meeting and I felt stressed out by what they wanted me to read, so I quit.
So I discovered via a friend of mine who already knew that the library, at least here in Charlotte, offers book club kits. So this is my super favorite thing, because so basically I signed up for it and I got a bag with 10 copies of the book and like discussion questions and details that I get for 6 weeks. So to me, the annoyance of a book club is everybody getting the book at the same time to then read it.
Oh, yeah, that
Like,
makes more sense.
Unless you go out and buy them all, which is expensive and you might not even like it. So then this first time is going to be annoying because I'm having to herd the cats. But then ideally someone else will check out another book club kit. And so when we meet, you give me one back and I give you a new one.
That's really smart.
And so then we get 10 copies and then we just are going to meet once a month-ish. And so, yeah, so it was nice. Although it's funny, I went to return other books because the dog accidentally chewed on a book. So I had to go inside to get the amount for my roommate to pay, and then I got new books, and then I was about to leave and I was like, oh, sorry, I need my book club kit. That's the reason I came, and I would have been really annoyed if I got home and didn't pick it up. So
which one are you going to read?
It's called the Cookbook Collector. Honestly, it's something that sounded sort of interesting when I picked it in December, and I couldn't tell you what it's about right now to save my life, but it was available in the time frame I wanted. And it's yeah, so they've got a whole bunch. They've got young adult, and then they've also got like 1984, like stuff you read in high school kind of stuff.
Is the cookbook collection about a recipe, and the book is 300 pages, and the first 298 are how they feel about the recipe, and then the last page is the recipe? Because that's how it feels on the internet.
I hope not. But I fed this to my husband, and he doesn't usually like peas, but he loved this. So that's so funny because that's so true. It's literally like click a recipe, scroll, 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 scroll. There's the recipe.
So the annoyance I have as well with the internet and the recipes. I got 2 books specifically because I can't take it anymore. Because they do it through Pinterest too. Like I'll save something and I go and find it. And now there's like pop-ups and videos. I can't take it anymore. So I got 2 new cookbooks. One is called The Green Line. Plant-based. I saw the chef on the Today Show, and then one's called Ketotarian. So that one I actually specifically got for recipes. But then you read the beginning of it, and it talks about foods that are, basically good and bad for inflammation and gut stuff. So I was like, oh, well, this might accidentally be great for me as well. I mean, I know I'm back on the medication, but I don't want to be on it forever. So, I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of food hang up sometimes. Like, what do I want to do? And I think about it, but I just couldn't take the recipes online anymore. So there's some pretty good recipes in there, and hopefully I like them. But along those lines,
well, it'd be funny if it's actually not at all about cookbooks. I don't really actually know what I don't remember, but it'll be interesting to see. It's called the Cookbook Collector, but I think it's like a mystery
the Bone Collector
or something.
He killed. No, oh, I like it. It goes and kills people that do that online, that make you scroll too much before the recipe, and then collects their bodies in the basement.
I feel like that would be like the cookbook killer,
but then collects their bodies. Then collects them.
The body.
Ooh, then skins them, dries the skin, and then puts the recipe on their skin. Did I take it to a dark place? This is gross now. I made it gross.
I mean, that's why we love you.
My super fave is I brought Bulletproof Coffee back into my life. I don't know why.
Okay.
I stopped because I was, a year and a half ago full vegan where I wasn't eating any butter. But I've kind of loosened up in general on what I am. I think I'm going to bring eggs back into my world.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
yeah, the last few days I had it. I got the ghee. There's like the clarified butter is supposed to be better for you, but it's an aggressive flavor. Like it's strong. So either I need to back off or just go with regular butter again. And the MCT oil and the blending it and make it all yummy. And we did like a little intermittent fasting this week when Josh was on this diet. And I remember, I don't know, I just feel better when I don't eat certain things. So I'm just going to try and listen to that and maybe like get out of my head of the this and that and this, that, and just listen to my body. Like because it's just really overwhelming to always think about like what I should and shouldn't eat, what I want to eat, what I shouldn't eat, what is good for my gut, what is good for inflammation, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm on this medication again, so I don't really have to worry about too many things. But so I'm trying to do you just have a day once in a while you do whatever the hell you want, fine. But B, like, just listen. Like, it's hard when you read these things that are like, grains are terrible for you. Don't ever eat grains. They're not good for inflammation. They're not good for gut, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I don't typically have too much of a problem with them. But I went like the whole week because Josh was doing this like military style diet. So I didn't do it with him, but I didn't eat, no alcohol, no grains.
You weren't chewing chips in front of him while staring at.
Try not to. And I actually felt really clear-headed and good all week. So I was like, because there's a lot in this, like that ketotarian talking about like brain fog, which I associate to like what my stepdad went through when he was on chemo, but I guess it doesn't have to be that dramatic. But it is hard. Like it's also that overwhelming of, I'm just tired of thinking about food every day. Like, what I put in my body and like, okay, I want to have toast, but oh God, I felt so much better when I did. It's just like, I'm an obsessive person anyway. So it's just a lot. I just don't wanna, but I mean, it's always a conscious thing. If I'm going to continue fitness and all the shit I'm doing, I can't undo it with stuff and it's really not even like, I don't want to eat that. Those are fat grams. I worked out so hard today. It's more like, I don't feel good when I have certain things.
Yeah, that's more of a reason than I don't even care.
I don't care. I went to SoulCycle today. I'm gonna eat the whole pizza. Yeah, true facts. We went to SoulCycle today, and then we got pizza for the girls. My little one had her cousin stay over, and I was like, yeah, some of this is mine. Thanks.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I like the Bulletproof Coffee.
Well,
kind of happy to have it back. It's yummy.
That sounds gross, but to each their own.
Well, you don't like coffee anyway, so
I know. That's why. But I made you laugh, so that's important.
Durr.
So, we're like 2 weeks into the year. We're doing this. And hope everyone's doing great. We'll talk to you next time. Stay witty.
Bye.